Hey, what's up guys? I'm Tyrion Lannister and this is my review of Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4. So this episode was pretty good. It had some good parts and it had some bad parts. I enjoyed most of the partying, most of the characters celebrating. There were some good lines, there was some good banter. Gendry was appointed the head of whatever, and he tried to marry Arya, but Arya doesn't want to be a lady really. She wants to do her own stuff, and back then there were some pretty harsh rules for women. So I kind of understand where Arya's coming from. She's not a lady. She's a woman, but she doesn't want to follow the traditional rules that women pretty much had to follow back then. So I understand her not wanting to marry Gendry. But yeah, and I really started to think that Tormund and Brienne were going to hit it off in this episode, but nope, it's Brienne and Jaime. I know some people out there were happy about that. Some people definitely shipped them. I never really did. I always sort of thought they had a bond that was just maybe brother and sisterly. I don't know, but I thought about it, and I decided, let's give it a chance, because, it makes a little bit of sense. They do definitely care about each other, and I know that's not enough to warrant a romantic or sexual relationship, but I guess, maybe there was some sexual tension between them at various moments, especially when she had first started to when she was first transferring him, and they were always arguing, and when they were in the hot tub together and stuff like that. I guess there was some sexual tension. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. And is that why Jaime wanted to be one of Brienne's people? And that's why Jaime knighted Brienne. I thought he just did those things because he cared about her. I guess he cares about her in a romantic way. I guess it kind of makes sense because I'm an idiot, so I'm playing this drinking game of Brienne, and I'm like, Brienne, you're a virgin. It's like a truth or false type game, and I'm like, Brienne, you're a virgin, and it kind of just shames her in front of everyone, and she just walks off, and Tormund wants to just go and try to sleep with her, and Jaime just stops him, and he goes with Brienne. I was just like, holy shit. But Tormund's heartbroken. And he's just devastated. And it seems like Tormund's going back farther north, where it's more cold and everything, and he's taking Ghost with him. That was a big part of this episode I didn't like. Jon Snow said goodbye to Ghost, and he didn't pet him or anything. They didn't do much with Ghost because of the budget, but that really just pissed me off. I hope they really needed to save that money. I really do, because they really did need to show Ghost a little bit more. They didn't show Ghost a single time in Season 7. A single time. If I recall correctly, Ghost was not seen at all in Season 7. And then he's seen in 2 seconds of Episode 3 during a big fight. We don't know if he dies or not. And then we see him out of nowhere with a missing ear. And he's far away from Jon Snow, and Jon Snow's just like, bye, and goes off. He doesn't pet him, he doesn't do jack shit. What the fuck? He's been your pet for, 8 years? And that's how you say goodbye to him? You don't pet him? Nothing? They look at each other from a distance, and Ghost, gives a cry, and Jon just leaves. Really? Writers? Really? Just, oh my god, they might as well have killed him off. It was just such a disservice to Jon and Ghost's relationship. I was really thinking, Jon spends an awful lot of time away from Ghost, and we don't see Ghost, and it's kind of hard to suspend your disbelief and just pretend he's doing this off screen or he's with Ghost off screen. It's because of the budget. The writers, the producers or whoever, they admitted it's because of the budget, but it's just, I hope it was worth saving that stupid fucking money. I really wish they did a little bit more of Ghost, and I wish they had Jon pet Ghost. Hey, animal that has been my pet for 8 years, I should give you a decent goodbye instead of just looking at you from 20 feet away and walking off. Really? How are we supposed to be okay with that? Just makes no damn sense. And then a lot of people complain about this, and I don't blame them. But the way Rhaegal dies, is that his name, Rhaegal? But the way that dragon dies, it was just, it's a ship that's not that far away from them, and Euron shoots it with his crossbow gun turret thing. So there's 2 dragons that are flying around, and one of them gets killed by a ship that's like not that far away. They're flying in the sky and they don't see the ships. What? And a lot of people are starting to have problems with all the plot holes, and I'm just like, yeah, they've been doing this shit since season 6, ever since Arya got stabbed 20 times and then she walked it off like it was nothing. Ever since in season 7, where Littlefinger turned into a retard when he was the most intelligent, manipulative character in the entire show. He got tricked by 2 young women that just don't have... Oh my god, the feminists are going to attack me. He got tricked by Sansa and Arya. Sansa and Arya, who are just not... They're just not on Littlefinger's level. He got tricked by them. They turned him into a retard so that they could kill him off. All they had to do was kill Littlefinger off in this season. All they had to do was have the White Walkers kill Littlefinger. Imagine that. That would have been such a better ending for him. That's the one thing that could have gotten Littlefinger, the White Walkers. He was prepared for everything else. He was. Rewatch the older seasons. Littlefinger was the #1 motherfucking game player, and he got tricked by Sansa and Arya. All you had to do was have the White Walkers kill him, because that was the card that, that was not something that Littlefinger was prepared for. That would have made so much more sense than just turning him into a retard, so you could kill him off in season 7. And then Gendry running 2,000 miles in 5 minutes. So yeah, I mean, you're complaining about plot holes. There's been plot holes for years. A lot of you people are just looking the other way. Where I'm coming from is yeah, I mean, yeah, there's plot holes. There's a lot of problems in this show, but I still want to enjoy the good parts of this show. I don't want to just hate the show because there's some bad parts. It's Game of Thrones, I want to enjoy the good parts. You know what I mean? I want to enjoy the good parts. And there's characters like Sansa and Arya and Tyrion and the Hound and Jaime and Daenerys and even Davos, pretty much. I mean, Davos was in season 2, but there's all these characters from season 1 whose journeys I've been following. I care about the characters. I'm emotionally invested in the characters. I want to see where it ends. I want to see how their stories end. I want to stick with them to the end. And if there's plot holes, there's plot holes. But yeah, by all means, complain about them. They've been there since season 6. And then Missandei's death. Missandei's death I liked. For one thing, I go up to my sister. I walk up to her like an idiot, like, "Hey, Cersei, do the right thing. Come on, Cersei, do the right thing." What does Cersei do? Not the right thing. I mean, who would have thought, right? I'm surprised I didn't die. I'm surprised those thousands of people didn't kill me. I mean, Cersei's just... I guess I applaud on her or something, because at this point, I don't see why Cersei would have just had... After she kills Missandei, why didn't she just have the hundreds of people just destroy me with bows and arrows? So, I don't know. But yeah, Missandei dies. Missandei gets her head cut off by a mountain, and she says Dracarys or whatever, which is, I think that's like attack them or light them up. It's what Daenerys says to Drogon and the other dragons. Well, now just Drogon. She's got one left. I'm so funny. But yeah, they kill off Missandei, and I actually like that. I didn't expect that. One of the things I kind of slightly had an issue with last episode was that they literally killed most of the characters that were single. They targeted the single characters. I was wondering, there's all these romances, there's all these love stories, which of them are going to end in tragedy? Which of them are going to end with someone losing someone that they love because of the White Walkers? And none of them did. Sam and Gilly, they live. Jon and Daenerys, they live. Gendry and Arya, they live. I thought Tormund and Brienne were going to be a thing, but they still live. And I know there's a few others. Like, all the romantic couples survive. And Grey Worm and Missandei, it's like they targeted most of the single characters. They didn't want to break up any of the couples, but in this episode they do it, and I'm like, oh Okay, good. I mean, yeah, that just seems kind of fair. I don't think that being in a romance should necessarily keep you alive. And Missandei's death, I liked. I feel bad for Grey Worm, but as far as Missandei goes, she was a cool character. I liked that they gave her an epic last word. I liked it. I liked how they filmed it. I just liked it as a death. I didn't really expect it, but I also understood it. That's one of the things about Game of Thrones that makes it unique from most other shows. I tend to agree when it kills characters, for the most part. Jorah was a hard one for me, but I think I'll be alright. I think I'll be alright. You know, Jorah hurt me, but I think I'll be alright. And for the most part, when characters die, I agree with it. Even if I like the characters, I agree. I can't say that about anything else, especially The Walking Dead. I'm always disagreeing with like half the characters that die, you know, when they die, stuff like that. But Game of Thrones, I always find myself disagreeing. It's like I'm a writer of the show, and I don't realize that or something. But I almost always understand why they killed them and how they were expendable. And I always agree with the characters that live. I agree with all the characters that are still alive right now. I agree with it, so I feel like I have like a special connection with the writers or something. And Missandei, yeah. I agree. I didn't love her or anything. I didn't need her to get a happy ending. She's expendable. She's never really done a whole lot for the story. She's just kind of been standing there being, you know, Daenerys' assistant, and she had a romance with Grey Worm, but she didn't really have that much characterization or anything, and I like how her death kind of upped the stakes, and you know, they were willing to break up at least one happy couple. You know, poor Grey Worm. I mean, at least he got to eat her out before she died. He got to eat her out first, you know. That's always a nice thing. But yeah, poor Grey Worm. I mean, I don't know. I doubt he'll ever move on. Grey Worm. If Grey Worm survives the series, he's gonna die He's gonna die an old man single, probably. I don't think he's going to want to replace Missandei. Plus, I mean, how many women are gonna want, you know, his limitations? I don't know. But even if they did, I don't know if he would move on from her. I mean, he's such a disciplined man. I don't know. But we'll see. My point is, even if he survives the series, we'll probably never get to know if he finds another woman because there's 2 episodes left. Unless they do like a 50-year time jump or whatever. I hope they don't do that. I don't want to see all these characters. I don't want to see a Harry Potter type ending where they put a bunch of fucking CGI or makeup crap where everyone just looks shitty looking at the end. It's like, nah, I'm good. But I liked Missandei's death. I thought it was a good, effective death, and she was an expendable character. And I agree with the death. And overall, I'm really excited for the last 2 episodes. But yeah, overall, this episode had some good moments and some bad moments, so I thought it was okay. Anyway, that's my review, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy, hit that like and subscribe. Right now we are at 530 subscribers, so right now I'm trying to get to 600 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters, and is very, very appreciated. And with all that said, I am Tyrion Lannister, and I will see you guys later. Bye!